The master splinter of hip hop has officially jumped in the Young Thug snitching conversation. And if you don't know who that is 6ix9ine. For the past couple of days, Young Thug has been outed as a snitch because there has been an interrogation video that came out where he is speaking to the police a lot more than he should. First, he talked about Pee Wee Roscoe and potentially being the shooter in Lil Wayne's shooting van incident that happened in April of 2015. And then later on, when the interrogation is over, he then says, you can get my number, and if you need anything in terms of information, let me know. Well, 6ix9ine has jumped into the conversation, and he's the one to know about snitching because he was the one, basically the first hip-hop artist to actually take the stand, point fingers at people and say this person was robbing, this person was stealing, this person was shooting. So if anyone knows anything about snitching in hip hop, it's him. And here is the video of him talking about the recent events with Young Thug.
Yo, I just want to know where all the energy at. The Young Thug situation, I stood quiet 2 days just watching it play out. Watching what excuses the people come up with. Every day, every year, every time a nigga come out, y'all move the goalpost further. Oh, nah, bro, it's different. No, it's different, bro. It's different, bro. It's different. You told, like, before 12 in the afternoon. Like, that's a forbidden rule. You can't do that. No, bro, it's okay, bro, because he told after 3, like, bro, it's so easy. They tell you, you have the right to remain silent. Anything used against you could be used in the court of law, whatever the fuck the case they say. You have the right to call an attorney right now. You spoke for 2 hours. 2 hours. It's me beating a horse. Like, I'm not saying that. Y'all heard what y'all heard. Where's all the energy at? Why hear everybody quiet? Why Lil Baby, 21 Savage's Future? Why you not saying nothing?
He's right. And before you attack me for saying that, let me explain why. The goalpost is always moved. For some reason, when it comes to certain artists, people look over the fact that they're not really the people that they say they are, that they're snitches, this and that. For example, 6ix9ine snitches, everyone turns their back on him, even though from his point of view, he felt it was a valid reason. These people were robbing, stealing from him, having sex with his baby mama, so on and so forth. And he felt, hey, these people threw me under the bus, so I'm going to throw them under the bus and get out free. But I can understand why people still dislike 6ix9ine despite those excuses, because the guy was talking about being a blood, gangsta, Treyway, all this gangsta stuff. And then when he finally gets caught up, he ends up telling. But he is right in this video. Future, 21 Savage, Lil Baby, nobody is speaking out or saying anything about the situation. Not that they have to, but the goalposts should not be moved. If people are still working with Young Thug after this, then clearly it's about an industry, about what connections you have, and if you are hot still musically. Gunna got accused of being a snitch. A lot of people see him as a snitch, but he decided to find his own lane, not speak out on social media, and make dope music. And people have essentially moved on from that for the most part. But also, Gunna's image was never really gangsta. He always had that party, fun type of music, where 6ix9ine's image was a lot more gangsta, affiliating with Bloods, Treyway, and all that stuff. And on top of that, 6ix9ine was very aggressive and just shitting on the whole industry when he was on top. Gunna is a totally different personality. And the situation with Gunna is he didn't actually take the stand and point fingers. He just said, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, ma'am, whenever he got asked certain questions about the YSL gang. So I can understand how people view it differently. But here's the reason why I agree with 6ix9ine. I believe that when Rick Ross, aka William Roberts, the rapper, got outed as a correctional officer and nobody cared, everybody still listened to his music. Everybody was still bumping him. Diddy, Jay-Z, French Montana, Lil Wayne, Drake, whoever got closer to him, and he just got hotter after the correctional officer stuff. And this all happened in 2008 when he was exposed as a correctional officer. But that didn't destroy his career. It made him hotter. So after that moment, in my eyes, is when hip-hop's authenticity didn't matter anymore. Because you got a rapper who took someone's whole identity, Freeway Rick Ross, the real drug dealer from California, took his name, his lifestyle, his story, and has a history of being a correctional officer, locking people up behind a cell. And still people were rocking with him, pushing his music. He started becoming literally one of the hottest rappers from 2010 to 2013 or 14, whatever you want to say, what year time frames. But regardless, everyone was still standing beside him. So if you guys can let that slide, a guy who stole someone's whole identity and is a correctional officer. You guys can let that slide. What's the problem with Young Thug snitching? What's the problem with Gunna snitching? What's the problem with 6ix9ine snitching? What's the problem with Drake suing? All of a sudden, there's goalposts and lines. And no, you guys let Rick Ross slide, William Roberts. Once you guys let Rick Ross slide, it was free game. It was a free-for-all at that point. At that point, hip-hop's authenticity went out the window. And all of these rappers worked with Rick Ross, from 21 Savage, Lil Baby, Future, Young Thug. Everyone, pretty much, has worked with Rick Ross. They didn't care, because guess what? He was making hot music at that time. Everybody wanted to be affiliated with him at that time, and that's it. He came out with BMF after the 50 Cent beef, got hot, and all of a sudden, everybody's fucking with him. Same thing with Gunna. He's releasing really good music right now. People are rocking with it. Yeah, some artists might not want to work with him, but still, the same situation with Gunna. At the end of the day, if you're still releasing good music, the industry doesn't care. The people, the general public who aren't street guys, at the end of the day, they do not care. They just want good music. We don't care about their history. I'm not a street guy. I don't look at street codes. I don't care if you snitch or not. Is the music good? But on my end, personally, I do care if you've stolen someone's whole identity, if you run a whole different lifestyle than what you're saying in your music. That's why I can't really bump 6ix9ine like that anymore, because the music before that was aggressive, talking about not snitching, talking about shooting, all this stuff. And then when he gets caught up in that situation, he decides to tell. So it's hard to kind of separate the two. But with Gunna, it's easy for me because Gunna doesn't really portray that image. He doesn't have this hardcore gangsta lifestyle image, that he doesn't portray it. So to me, I can actually listen to Gunna's music still, regardless of what he did with snitching. I'm a regular citizen, and 99% of you guys actually listen to his music are regular tax-paying citizens. So at the end of the day, 6ix9ine is right. The goalpost is being moved regarding to who it is. That's just the reality of the situation. And people are going to find excuses for whatever artist that they like. And I know what people are going to say right now. I can see it. I can vision it. Well, 50 Cent took someone's name. What about him? He took someone's name. There's a difference between Rick Ross and 50 Cent in that situation. 50 Cent, before he blew up, you can actually look at the 2002 Wangsta video shoot behind the scenes. He actually gives credit to the Brooklyn stick-up kid, 50 Cent, who died. He gives credit to him, and then he says it's also a metaphor for change. So he never denied it. He never hid the name and was like, no, when I was growing up, people were calling me that. No, he said when I was growing up, people were calling me Boo Boo. And then eventually I got the name 50 Cent, got inspired from the Brooklyn kid, and got inspired because it's a metaphor for change. He admitted it off the jump.
The name 50 Cent is a metaphor for change. It's also a gangster's name, from regular street gangster in New York City, from Fort Greene Projects. Financially, I exceed where he was at in the street. But every time they say my name in certain environments in New York City, they go, remember 50 Cent, so they remember him. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's cool that I took a name.
When it comes to William Roberts, a.k.a. the rapper Rick Ross, he's denied it, said as he's grown up, kids were calling him Rick Ross, when that's not the reality of the situation. There are a lot of people that grew up with him that say nobody called him Rick Ross. Never. That's never happened. But people are going to move the goalposts. People are going to say, hey, Rick Ross is cool because I like his music. It doesn't matter to me. He didn't lock me up. And I get it. At the end of the day, though, we cannot have different goalposts for different people. Either hip-hop doesn't tolerate snitching, doesn't tolerate police officers that change into rappers, doesn't tolerate people stealing other people's lifestyles and rapping about them, doesn't tolerate suing after you lose a battle in hip-hop. Any of those things. If you don't tolerate any of those things, then, hey, we can get mad at these certain people. But the fact that Rick Ross got away with what he did, at this point, it's free for all. And the funny thing is, Young Thug is literally trying to defend himself on social media against people because he knows it looks bad. He knows talking to the police in any shape or form is bad. You have millions of dollars. Get your lawyer in there and shut up. Use your Miranda rights. And he didn't do that. It looks horrible on his end, especially the end part where he says you can get my number, and if you need any information on anything, you can call me. That sounds insane. But let's see if the music industry, specifically hip-hop, keeps the same energy. I want to see everybody that's distanced themselves from 6ix9ine, everybody that's distanced themselves from Gunna, distance themselves from Young Thug and don't do music. That's what I want to see. That's fair. That's only fair. But that's not going to happen. It's all about music industry ties. It's all about what kind of music you got. If it's hot, you got strong connections. You got labels backing you, because that's another thing too. Labels can put a lot of money behind you to still make you seem very hot and the world will still accept you because we hip hop heads look deep into this, but the casual audience does not care. That's just the reality of the situation. But that's my thoughts on it. And hey, if you guys are going to move the goalpost on William Roberts, aka Rick Ross, then moving the goalpost on this stuff makes total sense because you guys allowed that guy to run freely with someone's whole identity, with someone's whole story, and a correctional officer, and he got hotter than ever. At that point, hip-hop's authenticity was out the window. That's a CB4 character literally that got hot musically. It's insane. If the Boondocks was running at that time, they would have clowned that guy. They would have destroyed him, but it wasn't, unfortunately. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it, and we'll see what happens moving forward.